Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all doing good. I'm Basira Afreen, working as a Salesforce technical lead at Royal Cyber, and it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce you to the topic that's having a connected experience across your CRM clouds. So before talking about the future CRM market, let me speak a little about the early CRM marketplace. So in early days, let's consider a company has a website and interacts with the potential customers or clients through this website. Do you think a company would invest in redesigning a website? Uh, I think the answer is probably not. They would just think of redesigning this website only if they think it was too old or there was an equally important reason. But the more important aspect here is that the companies need to focus on the customer, because the main idea here is that they are interacting with the customer using a website, and if they do not focus on the customer, their sales would eventually go down. So having a still and static website led to a fragmented customer experience. Another factor which added to this issue is isolated social channels, where we didn't have, or the companies didn't have concrete notes of all the interactions that were made on social channels, because these interactions were not reflected back into the system. And that led to a fragmented, bad customer experience. Similarly, there was another main reason for this particular issue, that was having a foggy company culture, which means that you're having a sales team and a customer support team that's disconnected. And there was no strong alignment between the sales team and the marketing team, which would which is noticed that it led to 20% annual revenue growth, which means that 20% of their annual revenue growth got reduced. So in order to fix this kind of a scenario, businesses needed a technology, and here comes the Salesforce into the picture, where Salesforce would help any company to move from a fragmented customer experience to a very well integrated customer experience. So let's understand what a well integrated customer experience means. It means that you are having an integrated marketing platform. That is, like, you are having informed communications across all the channels, whether it is sales, service, or marketing. And also, Salesforce helps you to personalize your interaction with the customer. Say if a customer wants to touch base with the company using an email or a social media or the website, Salesforce helps you to put the customer in the middle of your business. Having said that, it also helps you to interact with the customer over any device that they are holding. It gives you a consistent view and a responsive design across all the devices, whether it is mobiles, your desktops, or iPads. So this is more about how Salesforce helps you to develop an integrated customer experience and have a valuable customer relationship. And now, moving on to the customer journey, I will be talking about the connected customer experience over different clouds. That's Sales Cloud, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and Marketing Cloud. So the whole idea of a customer journey is to have your customers' demands met, and that can be done only through personalization. In today's world, it's the main idea is to have the shoppers at the center of your business, and that's the intelligent way to win the attention of the customer. So here's an infographic which talks more about the customer's journey through Commerce Cloud. As you can see, Salesforce helps you to get in touch with the customer right from the beginning when the customer signs up to the end when they require a service from us. Say that having a website, or say a company is having a website. So having a website is not a big deal in these days. But the main challenge here is how companies survive the shopper's demand. For example, consider you as a company have launched a new product, hot new product in the market. And when this product basically gets hit, you will have about more than 20,000 customers logging into your website concurrently. And in a couple of seconds, this would result in devastating all of the sites. As a result, what happens? It reduces the customer experience, and it also results in having a high probability of losing orders. So with Salesforce as a Commerce Cloud gives us the opportunity to design a storefront architecture which would not even which would not burden the sales team or the commerce team, and also at the same time you would also not notice the huge spike in sales when you launch a hot new product in the market. So you have mobile first sites that are ready for everything. And considering that mobile sites are the most common ways these days, Salesforce concentrates on giving a seamless experience even when there are about 20,000 customers logging into the website at the same time. So this is about the customer journey in Commerce Cloud. Now, talking about the major business benefits of integrating Commerce Cloud with Sales Cloud. This integration helps you to turn your sales team into trusted customer advisors. That's like firstly, let's consider on a business perspective, what's Sales Cloud? You know, it's having a successful sales team that helps you to find more customers, that helps you to maybe accelerate your sales productivity, and also it helps you to close the deals faster, right? In order to meet these targets, there are a few tricks, or there are a few hidden aspects that Salesforce provides companies with. Firstly, the ways that you can achieve it is to put the customer data at the fingertips of your sales team. Now that Salesforce is based on cloud, the same way as the customer can log into your website over a mobile, the sales team can also access Salesforce application through their mobile. They can have access to all of the customer data. They can have access to the full purchase history and the status of the outstanding orders, and also have information about the previous service issues or any notes from the other teams. All of this in a single view. So having these kind of important information or data on the fingertips helps the sales team to serve the customer better. Another main business benefit is to free your sales team to do more. That's like giving business customers a self-service option, or automating options for any routine tasks. For example, consider there's you as a user go to a restaurant and you want to place an order, say whether it is food or whether it's any product or any tools or anything of that sort, and it's your routine job to go place an order. Instead of having your sales team take up orders for different customers, you could automate it by having a screen or having an application in which you could just go, enter the details, and place an order immediately. That's saving time and effort on both sides. Another major business benefit of having Commerce Cloud and Sales Cloud integrated is that you can have a smarter sales team that gives personalized information and helps you to design solutions for your customer. And lastly, the main benefit of having sales and commerce integrated is you could refine the navigation, and you could also have an internal search system based on the customer. So that's about integration of Commerce Cloud with Sales Cloud. Now, talking about a few drawbacks that a company has in the Sales Cloud. Consider there's a season time, like say if it's Christmas and you have your sales team in place, for some or the other reason, due to huge amount of leads coming in, the sales team couldn't capture leads, or the leads were forgotten, or they were not fully capitalized on. Who do you think would have access to these kind of information? Eventually, the sales managers would have no idea about these lost leads, because they have no idea of your sales cycle, or there's no way, or there's no system in place to monitor the kind of workload during the season. So as a result, what happens is it's impossible to track the performance of your sales staff, and it gives you no reporting power at all. So the implementation of Sales Cloud integrated with Commerce Cloud helps you to manage your sales staff and manage your sales pipeline. This would eventually result in increase of lead fulfillment, and you could also reallocate your leads appropriately. That's the major business benefits that you would have with this integration. Now, moving on to the integration of Commerce Cloud and Service Cloud. Now having the orders placed, you would also, as a company, want to provide a best-in-class service before, during, and after purchase of a product. So how could you achieve it using integration of Sales Cloud, integration of Service Cloud with Commerce Cloud? Like I told you before, Salesforce offers a synchronized customer data, which means that it helps the service agents with real-time information of your customer. It gives you the whole idea of the customer profile, the order purchasing data, and so on. Hence, the service agents can serve your customers better. And also, it would engage your customers the way they would want to. Say you could drive conversations with your customer using their preferred channel. Like say if a customer wants to interact with the mobile or social media or using chat services, they could interact with the service agent using their preferred channel. This leads to a seamless conversation between both the teams. Another major benefit of having these two clouds integrated is to order on behalf of customers. Or you could also recommend related products based on the order history. That's in a way giving a personalized experience to the users. So now let me talk about a few business drawbacks that a company might face without having these two clouds integrated. Say the company would not be aware of any service cases that are being raised once a product is being purchased. They would have no tracking system in place in order to solve the problems of merchants. And also it's noted that prior to having Salesforce, the service agents were closing about 10 cases per day. And now that they have Commerce and Service Cloud integrated, there is a significant improvement overall, which means, say, a service agent is able to close up to 25 cases per day. So that's a major improvement of this kind of integration. Another major business benefit is that say if a customer logs issues or wants to contact the company, they could just do it with the tap of a button. They have their app on their mobile on which they have a help button, and they could just tap on that help button from the app and get the service advice on spot, because Salesforce has information about the location, the customer history, and things like that. And in turn, what happens is the service agents could diagnose the issue and also schedule an appointment if required. This kind of integration has helped in 50% of increase in response rate, and also about say at least 25% of decrease in support tickets at service level. And also I would also like to highlight a few things when it comes to services um, department in a company. Say if a customer wants to reach a company or a service agent through live chat, earlier they would have to just wait for an hour or so, but now it happens in a minute. And also, say if a customer has written a Twitter message reporting an issue, it would take companies 2 days, at least 2 days, to respond to that customer. But with Salesforce in place, it helps you to reduce these long wait times and to respond in a minute. So that's the kind of proactive service that we would be giving to our customers instead of having to react or respond to them in a different way. So that's about the proactive responses that you could give to your customers to have commerce when you have your Commerce Cloud integrated with Service Cloud. And now moving on to the integration between Commerce Cloud and Marketing Cloud. This integration helps you to personalize your email campaigns. And I would like to take an example of a company which is already in the market and who is thinking of expanding. So in order to expand their business, every company has to advertise, and advertising in every different country is a repeated task. So having Marketing Cloud utilized, what happens in this scenario is that Salesforce helps you to translate your emails at a local level. Say you have already created an email, and then Salesforce helps you to create several versions of this email, and that can be sent out simultaneously, and across regions it can just adjust to match the country preferences. So that's like having a single business unit and allowing each country to have that unique experience. But on the background, what happens is that it's just a single email which the team has to create, and Salesforce takes care to replicate the same data based on the country preferences. So that's the kind of experience that both the marketing team and the customer would be getting once you have your business where you have Commerce Cloud integrated with Marketing Cloud. And not only that Marketing Cloud and Commerce Cloud helps you to send out these huge emails, but also it helps you to keep a track of your customers right from the time you have sent out a welcome email to a customer. For example, consider if a customer is active and wants to know more, you can send out a different set of emails and have the customer engaged. And next, it also helps. Another business benefit of having these two clouds integrated is to help your marketing team to serve better content, and also you could have your marketing team to be mindful of the amount and the type of mail that you're sending. In fact, what happens as a result of this is that you have informed communications rather than having one-sided uh, or having a one-size-fits-all communications. So that is the major business benefit of commerce and marketing cloud being integrated. And lastly, you could also follow up on your lost sales. Say you have customers, and most often we face these issues where customers just want to place an order, but then they have carts with items which are not completed. So what happens here is Salesforce provides you data where you can fetch the abandoned carts of a customer, and you as a company could iterate back, or you could notify the customer back. You could track those lost sales and then get back a potential customer by following up with them. So that's another major business benefit of having these two clouds integrated. Next, here's an infographic which shows you the customer journey or the unified customer experience that I was talking about, right from the website or the storefront where a customer places an order to the time where the order is collected. So all of the data, whether it's sales, service, or marketing, is present in one single screen. Now, moving on to the commerce and service cloud integration, giving you an overview of how we have integrated commerce cloud and service cloud as part of our demonstration today. We have used a service cloud connector that enables you to view and manage all the customer data. That's your object information, whether it's case, customer, order, or any payment details. You can view all of this data in a single view. And also, there's this, the Service Cloud Connector helps you to synchronize data from commerce to Service Cloud. We have REST services which help us to synchronize the data between these two clouds. On the other hand, you also have Commerce to Service Connector, which uses the Open Commerce API. And this Open Commerce API helps you to announce to Service Cloud, which means that if a record is created in Commerce Cloud, it is pushed to Service Cloud using Open Commerce API. And Open Commerce API in turn uses REST services on the background. And hence, any kind of updation or creation or modification on the data between the clouds is synced. Here's a few features. Here are a few features which are highlighted. So it's like you can create cases on the storefront, and that is reflected back in Service Cloud. You can retrieve the information, whether it is order information, cases, or payment, or the updation. All of these updations or modifications of data in Commerce Cloud will be synced to your Service Cloud using the Service Cloud connector. So let's talk about the setup and installation. The way we have implemented is having the Service Cloud connector as the core, which you would have to firstly, it's a combination of installation, configuration, and customization. And unlike any of the Salesforce connectors, it is not a plug-and-play solution, and you will have to do a lot of customization on the background. That's about the implementation. Now, talking about the steps by which you could have the sync of data, or you could have unified experience on both the clouds. Firstly, you would have to set up the Service Cloud, and then you will have to configure the data objects in your Service Cloud. Once the data is set up in Service Cloud, you will have to make sure that this data is being synced to Commerce Cloud. So in order to sync this data or to provide a unified experience, you have the Service Cloud connector in place. So what is the Service Cloud connector basically? It's two different applications which are based on Lightning. It's the CRM and the contact center, which helps you to sync data between both clouds. So having the sync done, you will have to set up the Commerce Cloud, that's your storefront website. And then you will have to customize the Commerce Cloud to your needs. And once the data is created in Commerce Cloud, you will have to install the cartridge and and also you will have to configure the synchronized jobs to have your Service Cloud work with your Commerce Cloud. So these are the detailed steps that you would follow to integrate the two clouds. And here's the validation and troubleshooting techniques that we have. You could use Postman to validate and check if your REST requests are going through on both the clouds. And you could also monitor any issues or any faults or exceptions using your log files. That's about the validation and troubleshooting. Now, having these two clouds, Service Cloud and Commerce Cloud integrated, these are the use cases that we have created or we have to demonstrate. You could create a case, you could retrieve the same case over Service Cloud, and you could create a customer and then modify that customer and have that data synced up in your Service Cloud. Similarly, you could place an order and modify that order, and the same changes would be reflected back in your Service Cloud. Over to you now, Samit.
Well, thanks, Basira. Hi, everyone. My name is Samit Siddiqui. I'm working with Saber for past 3 years as a Salesforce developer. Today, I'm going to cover a few of the use cases which is related to the connectivity of Commerce and Service Cloud. We are covering 5 use cases as part of our demo, which is customer registration and modification, case creation and retrieval, order placement, and order status update. Let's start with customer registration first. In this case, we created a user in Commerce Cloud through Storefront, and this action will trigger the service which is responsible for creating corresponding person account in Service Cloud. As you can see in the screen, we have created a user named as James and ID as james@abc.com, and now we can validate in Service Cloud. Here we can see the James account has been created in Service Cloud. Now move to the next use case, that is modifying the customer profile. If we update customer profile data in Commerce Cloud through Storefront or via Business Manager, the changes will be reflected in Service Cloud immediately. Here we have updated the first name of the customer we have created earlier from James to John, and the same changes are synced in Service Cloud. You can see the Service Cloud screen, the changes has been made. It can be done vice versa as well, but we cannot create or modify or remove customer addresses from Service Cloud. However, it can be done through Storefront or Business Manager, and the changes will be reflected in Service Cloud. Next in line in case is case creation. Customer can create order related cases through Storefront, and the cases will be reflected in Service Cloud, so that service representative is aware of the customer queries and respond accordingly. As soon as customer submitted the case, the record has been created immediately in Service Cloud. Here is our form to submit a case, and now we can view the case in Service Cloud. Here are the details. We can verify that order number and account name are same as submitted through the case form. We can add comments as well while creating the case, and we can use this case form to ask queries related to order fulfillment like shipment, order status, and payment details. Now we are moving towards the order placement scenario. The order placed through storefront will create a corresponding order record in Service Cloud. Here is the order which we have placed from the storefront, and now we can verify the same order in the Service Cloud. We can see that order number and order details are same in Service Cloud. Now move to the final use case as part of this demo, that is order status synchronization. Order status synchronization between Commerce and Service Cloud. Whenever we update order status in Commerce Cloud Business Manager or any other OMS integrated with Commerce Cloud, the updated status will be synced in Service Cloud. Here is in our case, our order status is completed. That is synced by means of API, and we can check the order status in Service Cloud as well. Thanks all. That's all from the demo.
Thank you, everybody.